Hey, Tubes. Jonathan was wrong. Truth and budget. Kind of a weird angle, right? It's like we're it's like we're hanging out. I'm just turning and chatting at you, right? Um. So anyway, it's been a minute, so I thought I might as well put something up. My hair's getting long again, but blah blah blah. So I kind of thought that 2019 would be the year of disclosure. Um, it seems to me at least that it takes some effing forever to do anything. It used to be that stuff was happening so fast, and that this whole year has flown by, and they're still pushing the multiple gender agenda, and still pushing the alien agenda, and that's kind of how it's been all year. They haven't really made a lot of whoopsie daisy. Haven't really made a lot of ground in that though. Oh, I feel like things are more or less the same. I mean, the whole gender thing's not gonna. It's just not gonna work because it's stupid. Like, the only people that want it accepted are weirdos that are damaged to the point that they want to go around promoting it and for people to accept it. That's clearly not the majority of people. I keep watching these things where they try to explain this horrible nonsense to children, and the children who aren't even, as far as these scientists are concerned, aren't even gendered because they're not activated, to their dismay. But like, these kids, they're hearing that there's hundreds of genders, and they're like they don't even know what to think about it. Like, not only is it damaging for children to be hearing this stuff, but it's kind of obvious that that they think it's nonsense. Listen up. Here's an interesting fact. If a child thinks something is absolute nonsense, they're probably right. Because historically, when I think back, to children being like, no, and all that, when you're a kid and you're learning all the fake history and fake science and fake everything else, you'll hear things, and you'll be like, no way, and then you'll have an adult be like, yes, that's how it is, and so you're like, okay, but it isn't. And your initial no way is that real, no way could that happen, is correct. But that's part of mind control. You have to stop relying on yourself, and that's what they do. You think something's wrong. No, you're wrong. You're crazy. You're this. You're that. You're something. There's something wrong with you. There's never anything wrong with the world. Keep that in mind. That is one of the biggest lies. There's nothing wrong with the world. It's you. There's nothing wrong with what's going on. It's just a few people being bad. It's just a couple bad people. It's not the world. There's nothing going on in the world in its entirety. If you think that, you're a schizophrenic. Oh, here's something I want to talk about that I've noticed. I've seen a lot of mainstream channels actually pushing the aluminum foil meme. Actually saying, you know what, it might be good to wrap yourself in foil. Can you believe that? What's funny too is that I keep hearing, they'll, as far as their sources go, it's ex, NASA employees, ex CERN employees, all these people that are supposedly, targeted individuals, blah 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 blah, which is still something I believe in, but I think it's something that's very, very easily deterred. Like, there was once a time where I was very heavily targeted, so I stopped it. I acknowledged what was happening, put up a shield, and they don't mess with me anymore. And as far as if they go ahead. Bring it on. I'm not afraid of anything that can happen to me in this world at all. I am all out of fear. It's all gone. Still have a little empathy, but my fear is gone. I don't know. But so they're actually pushing the friggin' the foil meme, which like makes you, there's nothing, if you're gonna if you're trying to protect yourself from EMWs, EMFs, coming from a guy smoking a cigarette and drinking an energy drink, I'm clearly the height of health. Here's the thing too: how do people get super fat? Everyone in my family's fat. Well, my dad's family, my mom's family's not. Anyway, they're all fatties, and like I don't understand how like people get super fat. Like I eat processed cheese. I don't go running. I don't go to the gym. Like I don't know. I don't understand getting like super obese, or even pretty fat. I feel like now if I get to the point where I get a little jiggle going in my tummy, I'm like, all right, I need to cut down on something, because I am usually eating whatever I want. I'll have pizza for dinner 5-6 times a week. Whatever, pizza's awesome. And I don't care if the friggin' powers that be took it as a symbol of evil. Pizza's still delicious. There's nothing inherently wrong with pizza. There's nothing inherently wrong with a lot of things. They just use those things against us because they know they're awesome. Music, sex, women, food are all wonderful, awesome things that can be very, very, very easily turned against us. And by women, I mean like women have also been turned against women. They've been turned against themselves. How they think, feel, and act and try to live their lives nowadays is counter to what they should be doing, so they're all miserable. They're all miserable nuts because they're going against their grain, and just, no one's happy. Men aren't happy, women aren't happy, success. All around, whenever I drive around, whenever I see people, whenever I interact with people, I see success in the social engineering. They were successful. We're too late at this point to like, there's no. I mean, there are still a few people on the fence. I'm not saying like give up on everybody. Obviously, but like, at this point, if you don't think that there's something wrong, you're probably a lost cause. If you think everything's, this is how the world is, this is how the world's supposed to be, business as usual, yada yada yada, I don't know what to say for you. If you at least acknowledge that there's a precedent happening, that something's happening, that stuff's weird, there's still some hope for you. Because you at least have, base awareness, I'm leaning on a piece of Tupperware, it's uncomfortable. So I don't even know what to say most of the time, Even when like people might be on like the correct road, they fall into all the like crazy like a conspiracy nonsense, which doesn't matter. There's a great saying, and as usual, it is dual meaninged, and the ironic meaning is the real meaning. Welcome to Earth. So the devil's in the details. Now people think that the details is where there's sneaky things hidden in the details. No, that is one of the meanings, but the actual meaning is the fact that we're obsessed with details is satanic. The fact that we're looking and picking and derping is that's distracting to us. We don't need any of that. We don't need to go through the Bible to count letters, to find secret codes, to find secret meanings. It's all there. It's all the language is a little difficult because our language has been ruined. The English language, all of our words have several meanings by design. It's so we can say things and we can be told things and they can have multiple meanings, which works for them. The them being the powers that be. So it's not that it's not even that the Bible's a difficult language. It's the fact that our ability to speak and understand words has been altered through years and years and years of tampering with the language. You think about especially William Shakespeare, Francis Bacon, and how he evolved and grew the English language to by something like, I don't know, 150%, something nuts. Supposedly, I don't know. I wasn't alive, a few hundred years ago. I don't know how people were speaking, but it's just interesting that one of the highest-ranking, most powerful satanic generals to ever live expanded the English language. You gotta think about stuff like this. They're not. The Nazis didn't invent rockets so we could go to the moon, because no one's ever been to the moon. They invented rockets as a big FU and as a deployment weapon for, be it psychological warfare, emotional warfare, or physical warfare, for dropping fire and metal on people. The rocket was never meant to be anything good. The rocket is inherently bad. There are things that are inherently bad that we don't need. I would love to be, eating fruit all day. A lot of fruit's weird nowadays because it's all been altered. It's all, I don't know. What was I talking about? I got way off topic. So, it's been a slow disclosure. I mean, where we're at now is I guess the Navy is just openly being like, yep, this is, Well, what the Navy is saying, though, is that there are anomalies. There are things they can't explain. They're not saying aliens, per se, but they are saying, that there's stuff going on. There's just, people are taking it to the next step of aliens. I feel like a lot of things have gone by this year, and not like feels like a lot of the past years there's just been major major events, and there just hasn't been any this year. Supposedly there's been hundreds of shootings, or we're already at 300 mass shootings or something. I haven't heard about any of them. I think it's gotten to the point now where they can just put stuff out on the news, and people will just they don't even need evidence for stuff anymore. They can just say stuff. It's gotten to the point where they don't even need a fake video or fake events. They could just say it. They could just say it. And I don't know if this is a selfish thought or not, but I think sometimes that us pushing back, and we're supposed to expose them so people will see, but feel like every setback they have, we're just furthering, you know, the limbo of this like in-between period that just sucks. I mean, the actual, you know, full-on beast system is gonna suck more, obviously. You know, sometimes I don't think, you know, living in a cell is gonna be too much different than, you know, like, get a little view of my, this is me in my back seat living area. It's my television. I just whipped the phone around. I don't know what you saw. Probably saw a pipe and a grinder too. But yeah, you know, I'm fully content like living in a small space. I've been in my car for like 2 years now, and it's actually saw my buddy last night. He's like, damn, you know, and I was like, I know, right? Not bad for not like wasting all my money on rent, which is such a scam. Even if you own a house, you got to pay all sorts of crap to keep it. You got all the property taxes, you got all the insurances. My parents pay so much money on their insurances and everything. It's nuts. There's like thousands of dollars a month to pay for stuff you already have. It's crazy. You know, it's just, I don't know. I feel, you know, like I haven't made, you know, it's like the same thing I said the last time I made a video. It's like, what is there to report? You know, it's the same. It's like you see what's going on, right? You know, it's just I see a lot of truther channels pulling back because they probably feel the same way I do. You know, like, isn't this obvious? No, I know some channels too just work on big projects, so they kind of, you know, just puts. I mean, you know, friggin' Call for an Uprising is really the only channel I know that puts out like 4 or 5 videos a day. no one's usually that active. And for, you know, someone who's supposedly a bot channel, he does put out a lot of good content. You know, regardless of who he's working for. You know, he could be another Tucker Carlson. Who knows? Either way, a Call for an Uprising still does, you know, call to attention stuff that's important, regardless of what kind of person he might be. Then there's other channels that I don't trust their, what's the word I'm looking for? Gumption, will, tenacity. I feel like a lot of people, like, you know, like a lot of us are lost, don't know what's going on, are, you know, reaching for strands of information. But too many people I see, whenever they get a new idea, kind of run with it, you know? Like, you know, they're always looking for like something else going on. Like this whole Mandela thing, I think is it's just more garbage to like divide the community. You know, they saw that, you know, the truther communities were, you know, actually becoming communities, so they decided to throw a spanner in the works, and that spanner came from CERN. You know, it's just they wouldn't be altering reality and then joking about how they're altering reality. Look at us, we changed the Bond movies, tee-hee, fun little, you know, social video. No, that's nonsense. It's, you know, like I said, I haven't seen any evidence whatsoever of reality itself the past changing. I still don't think it's possible. I don't see the past as a thing. You know, I don't see reality as a thing where it is, you know? Is what we know as reality was created when we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden is where we can dwell with both, you know, us and God. It's a both physical and spiritual realm at the same time. Whereas this realm is fully physical. Spiritual things can affect this realm, but this realm is physical, fully. Whereas Eden is kind of like heaven and earth combined. God is not compatible with sin and evil, so he doesn't exist or, you know, fully hang out within our reality, because our reality shouldn't even exist, period. Where we are now shouldn't be. It is, because that's how God operates. He gives us free will so that when we do something, you know, he's going to react to it, or he already knows it's going to happen, and, you know, however you want to word that. But, you know, a lot of what is because of what we did. And this, you know, that where we are now is not even supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, when everything comes to pass, everything we know is reality is going to be gone. Because it's like a parasitic twin of what should be, you know? And as far as, you know, demons living in, no, demon, like, I don't, as the realm of Eden's, I think it's just waiting there for us. It's just there. No one's there, you know, except the animals. In, you know, in their true form, and not in their, you know, savage form, which is where they are here. I think everything here is gonna be, it's gonna be gone. You know, it's gonna be burned away. You know, and I don't think it's gonna be grown back as much. It's just gonna be sterilized, and Eden's just gonna be opened back up, and, you know, basically placed on top. It's gonna be a top layer, because, you know, we forget the exact wording of it, but, you know, the mountain, you know, is basically gonna cover the entirety of the earth. So New Eden's just gonna be it, you know. So, you know, say goodbye to all this, and, you know, none of this, you know. There's better versions of it. There's versions of it that don't get sick. There's versions of it that don't get hurt, that don't die. You know, all pain, disease, death is of this plane. None of that stuff exists in Eden. Do I know, you know, do I know all this for a fact? Of course not. I've never been there. I don't know anything for a fact. I know that Jesus is the only begotten Son of God, the Heavenly Father, that he died in our place and paid our price for us, and that he was resurrected, and he ascended to heaven. And upon that, he released the Holy Spirit to comfort us, because it's going to be a long trip. There's power in the Bible. There's power in Scripture. But the person wielding the Scripture has to actually have belief in it. It's like I could listen to two people read the exact same you know, parts of the Bible. When one person reads it, I feel something. When the other person reads it, I don't feel anything. In fact, sometimes it's kind of off-putting. It's because that person doesn't have faith in what they're reading. They're just reading it. And me personally, I can feel it, and it affects me. It just is. There's certain people that are so tainted with evil that I literally can't tolerate them. You know, if I can't watch anything with Kim Kardashian in it, I can't even look at her. If I see her moving or talking, it literally intense loathing. I feel sick. I feel enraged. Like I can't. She disgusts me on all levels. There's a few people like that, you know, that are so far gone that aren't even human beings that just full on disgust me. It's just it's an automatic trigger in me, which is great because it protects me, because I can automatically see if someone is just, you know, maximum unclean. I can move on from that. I don't know. I think having a strength and armor is also having a, like, you know, disconnect from the world, you know, like you can't be of this world, of this, you know, be a part of this, what's going on, and be protected because you're taking part in it, you know, you're kind of wearing their garb, you know, you're kind of trying to put on your armor over you know, over the colors they gave you, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't have a hard time blocking myself from, you know, off from this stuff. You know, if I hear a new idea, I can still skeptically look at it, you know, no matter who it's coming from. You know, I don't know. I mean, part of me is still waiting for the hammer to drop this year. They still got, you know, 2.5 more months, you know, to do something. You know, all the high holidays have gone by. The Friday the 13th full moon already happened. And here's the thing too: if they are doing big crazy stuff, they're not like we're not gonna hear about it. You know. So there's that too. So there could have been major super rituals this year that we don't even know about because they were, you know, high magic. You know, like the lesser magic is stuff they have to let us know about. I think the higher magic is stuff that's so esoteric that we can't even wrap our heads around. You know, full on angelic. By angelic I mean demonic, because things of this earth, when they have the term angelic attached, such as angelic language, angelic geometry, you know, etc., 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 it's not the angels that serve God. It's the angels that chose to serve themselves. It's those angels. Still angels, but, you know, not the right angels. You know, there's good dogs and bad dogs. But anyway, just like everything else, you know. So you have to be careful with that stuff. All of it. All spiritual powers. We're not equipped to deal with them because we're of this place, which is only like 5% spiritual. Or less. Spiritual energy can exist here, but it's under the fabric, basically. What the fabric is here is physical. I hope all that makes sense. But it's like I'm getting close to a half hour, so I want to end it before this just doesn't upload, because F me. Anyway, love you guys so much. Questions, comments, anything you want to discuss with me. As far as I know, I still can't do live things, which is infinitely irritating. But what do you guys want to talk about? You know, what do you see? Are you seeing anything I'm not seeing? Let me know. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Happy beautiful day, and God bless you.